This is Module 4, Lesson 1. This is Branding 101. Let's talk about establishing your practice identity. I think this is huge and undervalued for a lot of people because you don't want to fix teeth. You want to get in there, and your branding, though, is your breadwinner when you really get down to it.
Yeah, this is your representation of you, right? This is who you are. This is why your why is what it is. And so you really want to make sure that it's something that's really thought out, something that can last for a couple of years, and something that represents you.
So what is a brand?
It's a good question. I should ask you this. This is right up your alley.
It's your turn.
This is right up your alley. Yeah. So a brand is your outward representation in some type of either font form or a logo form, right? It is kind of what you stand for.
Your values,
exactly,
all of that.
All of those things.
I think a lot of people, it's like, oh, it's just a logo. I got my logo, that's my brand. But it's like, what are your core values? What is your mission? What is all of these things? And how does this visual representation take that?
That's right.
And like we had a client, they did a fantastic job. And every time you saw their logo, you knew exactly what they stood for because they just infused all of that. So how can a strong brand help an orthodontist stand out?
Yeah, I think that it's just goes back to recognition, right? And if you can easily throw a logo on something and they realize that that's you, dude, that's a win. You can put stickers on everything. And so it's that you're trying to do. And once you establish yourself as a nice brand and of consistency and of quality, then you're going to win.
And if you go a step further and you have your core values and you do storytelling, that's like getting to the point what makes your practice special.
Yeah.
How can you do that?
Yeah, that's the actual the value add. What makes your practice different than everybody else? And I think that you got to tell your unique story because your story is different from everyone else's, and your why is different than everyone else's. So you start blending the story with the why, then you really show who you are.
Yeah, and it goes into that next thing is knowing who your patients are. We talked about demographics. You know all of that, but your brand can easily push people away or attract people.
That's right. That's right. And you want to make sure that your brand is welcoming to most, right? It doesn't have to be welcoming to everyone because everyone's not your patient population, right? But whoever your patient population is, it has to be spot on for those.
There's a reason why vanilla ice cream sells the most. Everybody can eat it, but it's no one's favorite. No one's like, I really love vanilla. You know, it's you. Sometimes you have to vaccinate a little bit against, some people that it's like, that's not my patients that I want to see.
Yeah. And I found as you get older in your practice, it's easier to do that, right? Because you understand who you are, you understand what your brand is, you understand where you really want to be. When you first start out, you take a lot of stuff on that you may not be ideal for you, but that's okay. You'll learn that through those experiences.
And I think as you grow and know who you are, you can summarize all of that into one sentence.
That's right. If you can get it to one sentence, it's really great. I mean, you want to make it simple. You want it to be something that you can really take heart to and follow through on.
And that also can go into how that guides your team, how they need to show up every day.
Yep. That's going to be your mantra, right? That's going to be your thing that your marching orders are going to come behind. All your decision processes are going to happen from. So it's really important.
So let's say we've got all of these ideas. How can we actually test this with the public before okay, this is going to be our brand?
Yeah, I think that you have to give it out in little small pieces, right? You have to always be willing to take feedback, right? You can ask the patients for surveys and things like that, but you also can run it by a test group. I always think that running by a little sample group is very helpful. And that can be some of your friends, that can be some of your family, but it has to represent your demographic, right? So be careful with that. Friends and family sometimes may tell you what you want to hear. You need real responses.
Yeah, make sure you go a little bit deeper than just it looks great, honey.
Great. That's not very helpful.
No, it's not very helpful. Well, there is lesson 1 of Module 4. We'll see you on the next one.